Nataliya, here at the World Forum for Democracy of the Council of Europe, you represent Muslim minority of Ukraine. Can you please tell us which problems, based on your experience, which obstacles do the religious minorities face in Ukraine at the local level decision making?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. I'm very pleased to be here and to have a chance to present information about Ukraine and the obstacles which Muslim community face in Ukraine. I would like to say that it's over 2 million Muslims living in Ukraine. They represent different nationalities: Lebanese, Syrian, Iraq, Chechen, Tatar, Tajik, other Arabic countries, and they all have their communities represented in different regions of Ukraine as well. And on the daily basis, they faced some obstacles. The main obstacle of Muslim community in Ukraine is a high level of xenophobia. People do not have true information about who are Muslims. They don't know the lifestyle. They have wrong image of Muslims. And the second issue is that mass media is keeping the wrong information. The mass media is trying to make wrong information to be in true way. They present uncertified, unverified information. They use the wrong information, trying to create the wrong image of Muslims. This is the second issue. We have to work with mass media to inform them more about the lifestyle of Muslims. And also, another issue is that local authorities are not open to cooperation. Lots of people, they have lots of stereotypes, you know, they have wrong understanding. And we're trying to fight with that, but anyway, local authorities, they're not open to Muslim community. For example, they do not give chance to, they are not cooperating in returning religious buildings to Muslim communities. They create some obstacles for them to allocate a ground to build mosque in different regions of Ukraine. Politicians usually use bad image which mass media creates against Muslim for their own purposes. For example, we had examples when in Belaya Tserkov and Khmelnytsky region, Muslim community were asking for ground to be built for mosque. And political parties were using this against Muslims, saying that we don't need Muslims on our grounds. But Muslims are very well integrated in Ukrainian society. They have been living in Ukraine since 8th century, since the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it's not fair, because Muslims, they are not only nationalities which I was representing at the very beginning, it's also Ukrainians. I'm a Ukrainian Muslim. I'm not a Lebanese or Palestinian or Tatar or Chechen. I'm a Ukrainian Muslim. And local authorities, they do not satisfy rights of Ukrainian Muslims, trying to prohibit allocation of ground for Muslims, for mosques. So this is a very upsetting issue. Another issue is working with police. We have very high level of ethnic profiling. This is when police officers stops people who doesn't have Ukrainian look. It's obvious when Muslim lady or Muslim man is walking on the street. So they use this fact to stop them, to check the documents, and to, for example, if some crime was made, they do not verify information very precisely. They always have an image that Muslims are bad. Mm-hmm. Another issue is when some prisoners who did committed some crime, and those prisoners are belonging to Muslim society, they are not allowed for spiritual custody. Mm. Usually police officers are saying that this time for spiritual custody is already booked by another confessions. So they do not have the level of rights at the level which is presented in the legislation. Ukrainian legislation guarantees lots of rights for national, ethnic, national, religious and language minorities in Ukraine. But the most important issue is that these rights are not fully implemented like it's presented in the law. So this is the first way how to solve. We have to develop, and it should be accepted at the state level. We should have ethnical conception. When this ethnic conception will be adopted, then the rights will be guaranteed. The second way is the second way for solution of the problems which we have in Ukraine is to create a special governmental authority which will be involved in a multi-ethnical policy in Ukraine. We had such an authority before, but in 2010 there were administrative reform in Ukraine, and we do not have this governmental authority anymore. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the issues which we are fighting for nowadays. Mm-hmm. Another way is to solve the issues in Ukraine. We have to have very strong informational support for Muslims in Ukraine. We have to cooperate at the high level, at the state level, and we need to explain to people who the Muslims are. We have to work with mass media to explain who Muslims are, how they live, what the style of living they have, what their beliefs are. As the religious administration of Ukrainian Muslims is very open to cooperation. They usually invite people to mosque, which is in Kiev, and they always present a lot of information about the style life and the beliefs of Ukrainian Muslims.
What do you think organizations like yours or other public organizations, what can they concretely do at the local level to change the perceptions of people?
At the local level, they have to cooperate. Local authorities are not open for cooperation. This is the main issue. How it should be done? It should be done with active public work. Muslim communities are working in this direction. Also, national and ethnic communities are working in these directions. But we have to break the ice. Mm-hmm. This is the main purpose.
I see. Thank you very much, and best of luck with your work.
You are always welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.